Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Sport Federation TV. I'm Lenyukta Chetty and once again I'll be your host. Tonight we've got a great lineup. We'll be taking a look at softball, baseball and dance sport. Joining me first is Johan Koopman from DanceSport. Welcome Johan.
Thank you, Len.
Well, DanceSport is the first time that I'm interviewing DanceSport on the show. Tell us about the federation.
Okay, we got to go back about 4 or 5 years ago when a couple of dance teachers, namely Craig Bullock, Nikki Wiggett, Jason Mayer, Ivy Mayer, they got together and they wanted to do something that is going to be sustainable and also the feeder for the Senior Dance Federation. And they've devised a beautiful curriculum with certain dance moves that learners have to do, and it's just grown from there.
Okay, so learners, so we're talking about dance sport in the school context. Hey?
Yes, it is called DanceSport School League.
Right.
So we're looking specifically at schools, primary schools, high schools, special needs schools. The project was widely accepted internationally. It's never been done in other countries. We're basically the first to be doing it, whereby we are introducing a structured sport in the form of dance within the school.
Right.
And we're looking specifically now at hip-hop dance, and we'll probably look at branching out over the next few years to different formats of dance.
All right. How new is this, code in the schools?
Okay, we in the Western Cape we've been competing for 3 years, and most of the 3 years ago we had our first IPT. So if I can give you a bit of background with regards to how it works, we have, like I said, a manual with regards to certain dance moves that has to be taught. So the coaches get training in term 1 of the school year, and they would then learn the specific dance moves, and it's something like about 20 dance moves, different steps that they have to do, and they then go and teach their learners. So they've got to teach their learners, make sure the learners know it, and then when we get to a inter-school event, we would have something like, say, 5 schools together competing. So we just focus on solo dancing at the inter-schools. I'll speak later about the inter-provincial, but at the inter-school we look at specific criteria for the dances that they have to do. They have to do the steps, they have to show certain things like their poise and whatever else. And there's a lot of things within the judging that they got to do. I'm not 100% familiar with the judging, but there's technicalities that they got to look at, and the dancer obviously gets marked accordingly. You have about 3 judges who each one will work on a specific area, and they will mark you accordingly.
So you said right now the focus is hip hop.
Yes, at the moment we're focusing on hip hop. I don't know if you want me to speak about the IPT now, because what we're doing is we're having our IPT in Saldanha Bay from the 20th to the 23rd of June.
Is that inter-provincial trials?
That's the inter-provincial tournament, yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's going to be Western Cape that's going to win it again this year.
All right. So how many schools are involved in the Western Cape?
In the Western Cape we've got currently 5 primary schools competing, and in the high school we have, I speak under correction, I think it's about 11.
Okay.
10 or 11.
And well, so this is kind of happening in all the provinces now. And how many provinces do you expect to come to the interprovincials?
Well, due to financial constraints and things like that, there's only 2 provinces coming down, which is Gauteng and KZN. And we're hoping that, you know, we've got schools in Mpumalanga, we've got schools in the Free State, we've got schools in the Eastern Cape, so there was a lot of financial,
no, of course.
we're not getting the support that we would like to get, you know, from government, but it's all about planning and process, you know. So it's going to be a bit of a hard ride initially, but we will get there. And I believe that what we're doing for the kids is giving them another opportunity. They don't need a ball, they don't need a bat, they don't need anything. They can do it barefoot, they can do it with socks, they can do it with shoes on, and they just need their phone, which every kid has nowadays, and they always downloading music. It's a win-win situation for kids. They love dancing, they love music, and this is what DanceSport is about. We want to get as many kids out there to do dancing.
Well, and it's cardio as well. Hey.
There we go. Good cardio, good workout.
Yeah. So tell us about the different categories that you cater for in the sport.
Like I said, currently we're just focusing on hip-hop. I don't want to say too much, but we are definitely going to be looking at extending it to other dance sports.
Well, but not particularly with the dancers. Age categories.
Oh, the age categories. Okay, with the age categories, we're looking at, currently we have under 13, under 14, under 16, and under 18. Those are most of the, from primary school, intermediate up to the senior school. So those kids are basically being catered for. We did not want to go too low down with the age category, but for interprovincial, we go down to under 13. In some cases, in certain schools, there's under 9s and under 10s, and that is purely for fun. You know, we don't select them to provincial teams, but provincial sides are from under 13, 14, 16, and 18.
Now, for the teachers at home that might be watching, if the sport is not currently on the way in their respective schools, how can they get involved? How can they start it up?
Okay, they can go onto the Facebook page. We've got a Facebook page that's going with DanceSport School League, and make contact with us there, or they can contact me directly as the chairperson of the DanceSport, and in that way we can you know, just assist wherever their need is, and help them and get the sport developed.
Yeah, and well, in terms of facilities and stuff, they would just need a hall or
that's all.
Yeah.
When we, you know, you don't even need a hall. It's just a piece of tarmac or open space.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the kids will stand in the corridors when they getting ready to go and dance or whatever, and they'll start moving and dancing and whatever else. So they don't need a big space within which to dance. However, when we do a interleague or inter-school event, then they need a bit of space, because you need to see at least 3 dancers in front, 3 at the back. And so forth.
Well, now in your personal capacity, you work with special groups of people as well. What kind of effect have you seen the sport have on them?
I teach at the school for deaf learners, and you know, people always say, how can your deaf kids dance? So one of the things that we always look at is the floor must be ideal for them, where they can feel the vibrations. And wooden floors are normally the best. So they also work on dancing to the beat, you know, to the beat and to a count. So the teacher that coaches them will sort of give them a count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in that way the deaf kids know what to do. So it's just a case of them remembering the sequence of the dance, and also remembering to count themselves so that they get their count right.
Yeah. Well, it must be so special, hey, I mean, for all of the adults especially that are involved.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, most of the people that's involved in dance sport are dancers themselves. And, you know, it's heartwarming when you see these people applying back into the code, and they're doing it pro bono, and you think that, you know, it's beautiful that they can give back of their talent. And we've got some exceptionally talented dance instructors within the code whether it's in the Western Cape or Gauteng or wherever it may be. There's people that have gone right to the top. We just had some of them at dance now in Croatia, and they came home with gold medals. And some of them are Gauteng based, others are based elsewhere. So we've got some exceptionally talented dancers.
Okay, so well, you mentioned the interprovincial trials, and you just dropped Croatia a little bit. So there is international events after the national event. Hey.
Yes, there are international events. However, we are still sort of hoping to build up the DanceSport School League profile to an extent where we will have it in all over the world. Now. We have visited Mauritius. They competed with us last year. Namibia was coming this year, and then they had financial problems. And then we looked at other countries like Holland and one or two other European countries who are in a similar situation where we are, where we can develop the code. So we've got a specific person that's assigned to, sort of market the thing at the international level. The mother body, the international mother body, is very excited about the idea because, it's something new, and it's basically getting the things structured in a way that it's going to comply with as a school sport code.
And it's such a good platform, especially for underdeveloped countries, hey?
Yeah, absolutely.
To get involved.
You know what the beauty is that we've got a lot of disadvantaged schools that participate. So the kid basically just needs to get to the venue where the competition is being held. That child doesn't need shoes or specific shoes or specific outfit. We allow the kids to compete in their school uniforms.
So you're making it as accessible as possible.
As accessible as possible.
Beautiful.
Without having to lay out money. So the kids, every child's, like I said, every child's got a cell phone. So they plug the Bluetooth speaker to the cell phone, and then everybody's dancing, and it's just beautiful to watch them.
And dance is so good for the soul as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, beautiful. Thank you, Johan. Thank you for telling us about your code. We wish you all the best in your development efforts nationally and globally.
Yeah.
And more especially, thank you for the work that you're doing in the community and availing the sport to the children.
I just want to share, if anybody needs to contact us, they can go onto our Facebook page and just type in DanceSport School League, Western Cape, and you'll find us there.
All right, excellent. All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. After the break, we'll be back with another amazing sport from the Western Cape, so please stay tuned for that.